Good evening, all. We are doing a probably 40-minute Pilates class now because we're learning a little bit late. We've got a block, we've got some stretch bands. Now, you can use a towel as well. If we use it for resistance, you need something with resistance. We're going to wrap this around our legs. You can also use a looped band. So if you've got one that's looped already, you can pick these up from Amazon for £5. But either of these work. And the block, if you haven't got a block, use a couple of cookbooks for underneath your head. And then let's start. All right. So some movements are going to be tricky for me because of my knee, but I'll do as much as I can, and then you just have to work a little bit harder. Give me big shoulder rolls backwards. Make sure that you're breathing in through the nose and out through pursed lips. Make sure if you've got osteoporosis, you're listening out to those options. If you've been told by a physiotherapist or a doctor to avoid certain things, then please listen to that advice and ignore my advice. You're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to bring the chin to the chest. You're going to roll it down. So we're warming up in spinal flexion. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, bring it back to the top. Circle those arms and extend. Good. If you've got spinal issues, you're going to bring the spine forward in a straight line, back to the top, circle those arms and extend. So spinal issues, straight back. Everybody else, find an arched back. Do make sure you don't hold your breath, and you want to find a little bit more stretch every time you go down there. Take your time. Make sure you don't get dizzy. Take it back to the top. This is your last one. Pull the arms to your side. Stand nice and tall and give me the rotations. Keeping the hips facing forward. Breathing out into the rotation. Breathing in to come to the back. Good. Look to the back of the room, please. So make sure there is a neck rotation present. We're going to do two more. We're going to do one more. Back to the center and drop those arms. Lift one arm up and go into that sway from side to side, feeling the stretch in your waist, just above the hip bone. Making sure we don't hold our breath. One more. And last one. Good. Now listen, if you're struggling with balance, I'd like you to get a chair or stand a little bit closer to the wall. So you just have that safety net there that you can hold on. We're going to go into a squat. You're going to take your squats deeper down than mine. So I've been told I can do mini squats, but not big ones. So I'm going to do mini ones, but you can do bigger ones, or as big as your knees allow you to. And come back up again. So keep moving. Bring the arms forward and stand back up. You should be able to wiggle your toes. You should be able to wiggle your toes as you come down. Perfect. You're going to do one more. And then you're going to lift your knee to your chest. So if you need to hold on, you hold on now. You lift the knee to the chest and you pulse that knee towards your chest. Hold on if you have to, but try to let go every once in a while. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your foot down. Back into a squat. Same leg now. Lifts out to the side. So again, you hold on to the wall or to your chair if you have to. And you bring that leg out to the side. Sideways, sideways. Hips are facing forward. Keep breathing. Nice. Standing leg is engaging. The breastbone lifts. Try not to lean into your chair or the wall. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's do it again. We're staying on the same leg. Give me a squat. Bring it back up again. This time, hold on to the wall again and lift the leg to the back and just pulse that leg. backwards. Good, let go of the wall if you can. If you can, try to balance through it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, we need to do exactly the same over to the other side. So a squat. Bring it up. It's a knee lift. Pull the knee to your chest and pulse. Make sure you keep breathing. Hold on to the wall if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Good. It's a squat. We're taking it sideways. So lift the leg out to the side and pulse. Start nice and tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last one. Squat down. Take the leg to the back. Balance. And backwards. I like to flex my foot here. It gives me a better connection into my bum cheek. So the ones that bring in their leg forward, you need to bring the leg behind you. Behind you. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. And then widen your legs. Nice and wide, and turn your feet outwards. We're going into an inner thigh stretch here. So inner thighs all along here into the knee. And your feet are nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. Good. Back to the center. So widen those legs. And over to the other side. Good. Some of you are standing there with their bum cheeks hanging out. You need to bring the bum behind you. That gives you a much better stretch. Let's do that again from side to side. Find that stretch. Gently stretch into it. Beautifully lengthened spine. And then one more on the other side. Good. And then bring that to the center and bring your feet ever so lightly closer together, not very much. Take your hands and bring them together like this. Just bring the hands together. You're going to squat and you're going to bring the hands over to one knee. Excellent. And inhale, exhale as you rotate to the back of the room. Take it down, bring the hands to your knee and rotate it up. Make sure you're breathing out when you do that. So squat down, breathe out. And what you want to produce here is a rotation through the spine. Inhale, exhale, rotate. One more time on this side. Take the hands next to the knee and bring them up. Find that movement. Good. We're going over to the other side. Squat down. Exhale, lift. Keep pulling those shoulders down. Produce a movement. It's almost like you're throwing a ball over the top of your shoulder. So that movement there where you throw the ball behind you. Breathe out in the movement. Squat. And throw it behind you. Good. You've got one more. Take it down and bring it up. Fantastic. And bring the arms to your side. Step a little bit closer. Stand nice and tall. And now what I want you to do, I want you to engage your bum cheeks and I want you to engage your core muscles. So pull the tummy in, tuck the tail between your legs and clench your bottom. You're going to bring the arms to your side. Good. And now we're going to start pulsing in through the nose and out through pursed lips. And what I want to see is perfect stillness in the upper body. So make sure that you're not wobbling around when you do this. Keep the upper body nice and still. Good. Don't circle your hands up and down. Press against your thighs. Palms are facing downwards. Good. We're now going to bring the palms facing forwards and go forwards and back. We're going forwards and back. This one is a little bit more challenging. So make sure that the upper body doesn't start swinging. Some of you are doing it way too big. Make it small, tiny little movements. Keep breathing, small little movements, but fast. Fast, fast, fast. And pull that tummy in. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Nicely done. Interlace your hands and bring them behind your head. I'm going to show you from the side. You're going to bring the elbows forward. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to pull the elbows back as far as you can to find a stretch in your chest. Do that again, bring the elbows forward, inhale. And exhale, open up the chest, pull the elbows back. Don't press the head forward, keep the head over the top of your shoulders. Inhale, exhale to open up. You've got a couple more, close it. And exhale to open up. Last one, close. And exhale to open up. Perfect. And then bring the arms down. We're ready for the floor. So come onto the floor and start your cat-cow movement. So you're kneeling on all fours and you're going up and down through the back. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the knees. You're finding a lovely movement through that spine. From the tail all the way into the crown of your head. Shoulders are downwardly engaged. One more time. And then come into neutral. So nice straight back with the pulled in tummy. You're now going to take the hand, you're going to thread it under, look up to the ceiling. And then pull the arm out to find a chest stretch. Let's do 3 on the same arm. Pull the arm out to the side, look up to the ceiling. Try to find a really lovely rotation through that rib cage. Bring it under. And breathe out. That was my 3rd one, so I'm now going to change over to the other side. I bring it under, I look up to the ceiling, and I pull it out. I find one side is much tighter than the other, so don't you worry if you've got similar sort of feelings, where one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. Just make sure you keep pulling that tummy in and gently move towards that tightness. Good, now we're going to do 2 on each side. Bring it under, so I've swapped over again. 2 on each side. You don't want to rush this. It should get easier with each one of them. Swap over. Really try to find neutral spine, so keep pulling those shoulders back and down. Good, and of course we're now going to do singles. So we're going to alternate those arms. And we're going to do 4 of these. Keep pulling the shoulders down, off we go. So 1 this way. Bring it back up. 1 the other way. Nice and deep now. You've got 1 more each on each side. Take it under. Lift it up. Very last one now. Bring it under. And lift it up. Beautiful. Good. Hands on the floor. Bring them a little bit further forward. And now bring your hips as far back as you feel comfortable. Listening to your knees. Drop the breastbone down. And again, make sure you don't do anything that a physio has told you not to do. Good. And then come on up. Now, if you have a stretch band, only if you have a stretch band. If you haven't got one, please don't worry about it. You can do these exercises without. You're going to take the band and you're going to wrap it only once, about the hand width above your knee. And then if you can, instead of a double knot, give me a bow. And this is your resistance. Okay, so the tighter you make it, around both legs, please. And you need to do this with your knees closed, with your knees closed. With your knees closed, please. Yeah, listen, with my dolce knee, I'm not going to do it with resistance. Actually, I'm going to do a very light band here. And I might have to take it off if the knee's unhappy. So around both legs. And then you're going to lie down, please. Lie down. Bend your knees. Bend your knees, lie on the floor, hold on to your hip bone, make sure the waist is lifted. Good. From here, we're just going to pull the top leg up and bring it back down again. Top leg up and bring it down. Keep going. So if you haven't got a band, that doesn't matter. You do the same movement without the band. Up and down. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to take it down. Up. Take it down. Good. Can I have a triple pulse at the top? We go 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Go again. Lift it up. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Keep going. If you need a rest, you have a rest at any time that you need a rest. Just check that your waist is lifted. Go again. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Last one. And 3, 2, 1. Good. And now you're simply going to hold it up here. Hold and breathe. Good. Breathe. Pull the tummy in nice and tight. You've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Beautiful. You're now going to turn onto your back. I'm going to loose the block. Only have equipment underneath your head if you really need it. Arms are alongside you. Feet are hip width apart. You start with your pelvic tilt. So pulling that lower back onto the mat and reversing it again. Nice and controlled. So what you want to feel here is your internal muscle working for you. The ability to pull the tummy towards the floor, the ability to lift your pelvic floor, and to move the hips with your lower abdominal muscles. So it's that imagination of pulling the pubic bone to your rib cage. Try to use your bum cheek muscles as little as possible. They will kick in a little bit, but just try to really reduce that as much as you possibly can. Good, we're now going to take this to the top, so tuck and lift. One vertebra after the other one. Engage those shoulders down, hold it at the top. Take a deep breath in and then exhale to bring it back down again. One bone at a time. Making sure we don't hold our breath. Then you recreate that neutral spine and then you go again. You tilt and you lift all the way to the top. Press your feet into the floor. Take a deep breath in at the top and exhale to bring it back down again. One vertebra after the other one. Good. Really make sure that you're not swaying from side to side. You've got one more. Tilt and lift. Good. Hold it here at the top. Keep pulling the tail between your legs. You're going to open up your knees and close your knees. So work against the band. When you open up, you have to make sure the hips don't sink. And also you have to maintain that pelvic tilt. So keep pulling your pubic bone towards you. Tuck your tail between your legs. Or in other words, tilt your belt buckle towards your rib cage. Keep going. Open up. Breathe out. Breathe in to close. Keep the height going. So push those hips up a little bit more. And you've got 3 more. Open up. 3. Close. 2. Go again. Go again. Open up. Fantastic. Last one. Open up. Close to hip width. Take a deep breath in and pull it back down again. One bone after the other one. Good. And then pull your knees to your chest. Just give them a hug. Give those knees a hug. And relax through the lower back. Fantastic. Good job. All right, let's go over to the other side. No, sorry, same side. I said that wrong. Same side again. But this time you're going to bring the band over the top of your calves, where the calves are roundest. So not over the top of your knees, calves. So below your knees, between your feet and your knees. And then you're going to lengthen both legs and you're going to open up the band so you've got a tension between the band. So the band is never slack. Make sure the waist is lifted. Good. This is your starting and your finishing position. Really press the lower back onto the floor. And now you're going to lift and lower. Really find the outer thigh and your bum cheek muscle engaging. Lift and lower. Lift and bring it down. And again, if you don't have a band, don't worry about it. You can just do exactly the same movement without the band. The weight of your leg will give you resistance. Quite often, I don't use a band. I don't always faff with the band. So you can use no band if you want. And of course, you can loose the band if it's all getting too much. Make sure the band doesn't go slack, so there is always a tension in the band. Press that lower leg onto the floor. Good, and then you're going to hold the leg, like we did in the previous exercise. We're going to flex our top foot, and now you're going to pulse up there, making sure the waist still has lightness in it. Make sure that waist is lightly lifted off the floor. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring that leg down. So you should have felt a little bit of a burn there in those legs. If you didn't, you might need to work with a tighter band next time. So we're now going to take the band back over the top of our knees, like we had it at the beginning. We're changing the block over to the other side of the mat, and we're making our way back down onto the floor. Lift that waist off the mat, hold on to the hip bone, and then lift and lower through that thigh. Really finding that bum-cheek engagement. Keeping that foot lifted. Lift the feet up, please. Lift the feet up. That's it. Just check that the back of your head is lined up with your shoulders. So a lot of us will have to pull the back of the head back a little bit. And keep breathing, keep pulling the tummy in, keep tucking the tail between your legs. Don't lose your waist. You've got one more. Hold it at the top. Don't sink the foot down. Keep the foot in line with your knee. Don't move anything. Just hold and breathe. Find that resistance. 8, 7, keep breathing, please. 6, a little bit higher up. Lift the knee up again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good job. Lose your block, turn onto your back. Walk your feet towards you again. Place your feet hip width apart. Pelvic tilt, and then lift the spine up again, like we did earlier, all the way to the top. Once you're up here, tuck your shoulders underneath yourself a little bit more and pull the chin forward towards your chest. And then lift your heels up and walk your feet a touch closer to your bum cheek so that you're nice and comfortably underneath your knee joint. So your toes are underneath your knees. Good, and now we're going to do exactly the same. You open and you close. If you find this is too much, because here we've also got the calf engaged now because you're off your heels, and you find this is all a little bit too much, I can feel this in my lower back, then please bring your feet back onto the floor. But if you can, keep going here. Open up, hip width apart. Open up, and then hip width apart. Keep tucking the tail between your legs. And when you open up your legs, make sure you don't lose the height that you've produced in your hips. Keep breathing. Got 4 more. 3, 2, open up and hold. Good. You now have 15 little pulses. 1, 2, 3. And the breathing is very fast, a bit like a steam train. 6, 7, 8. Lift your hips up. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Bring your knees to hip width. Bring the heels down. Take a deep breath in and roll it back down. One vertebra after the other one. And then pull your knees gently towards your chest and rest. Perfect. Okay, back onto your side. And again, we're pulling our bands over the top of our calf muscles now. Lie on your side and lengthen your legs. Make sure both of your legs are exactly the same length. And then your starting position is the band taut. So I want that band to be taut, not slack, but you're not really pulling on it either. So it's just a nice tension there. Back of your head is pulling back. And then you're going to bring that leg up and down. Just relax your ankles here. Good, listen, so what I can see on screen is some of you are pulling up really beautifully and then it sort of snaps back. I need that upwards movement to be as controlled as the downwards movement. So slow the downwards movement down a little bit. That negative movement is just as important as the contraction. So lift up and breathe out. Breathe out when you conceive the movement to be hard. So I find the lifting harder, so I'm breathing out on the way up. But if you really struggle to release, then see if you can breathe out on the way down. Keep lengthening that top leg and make sure you don't give me a slack band. You've got one more. You're going to hold it open and give me little pulses here. Make sure you keep breathing. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Good job. Wiggle your legs out of your band. And if you've got a knot in your band, just undo the knot quickly. And then lie back on your back, please. So whilst you're undoing that knot, I have to quickly change my phone to not shut off so I know what the time is so I don't go over time. Lie on your back, place your feet nice and close to you and then start rotating your hips round and round. Round and round. What is this? Here we go. Round and round through those hips. Good, so what I can see is lots of you moving your knees. Try to engage your feet into the floor and find that hip circular movement without the knees moving. So use the soles of your feet a little bit more and then change the direction, go the other way. I find this exercise, these circular movements through the hips, very nice when I have a tense lower back because it really activates all of those little muscles in the lower back. Good. Hopefully all of you have undone that knot in the band. Good. And then bring your hips to neutral. Grab your band and strap one of your feet into the band. So if you haven't got a band, you can use a towel, but quite a big towel, not a little one, otherwise it gets difficult. Make sure that you haven't got a block underneath the head, maybe a towel if you need it. And then really lengthen that leg. So what I want you to do, unless you've got a knee injury, I want you to lock your knee out. So you're going into hyperextension. So you really extend the leg. And maybe you can already feel a stretch there at the back of your knee. You're going to pull the big toe down and heel the heel up to the ceiling. That will really give you a nice deep stretch through the calf. Good. And now imagine how your thigh bone is sitting in your hip joint. We are now going to rotate the thigh bone. So we're not circling the leg. We're just bringing the toe, the knee, and the heel to one side. So the knee is now slightly pointing outwards, and you can feel a different stretch in the back end of your leg. So we're not moving. We're just rotating the thigh bone in your hip joint. Good, and then do it the other way. Bring the toes inwards to heel outwards. And again, you'll feel a different stretch. Bring that leg back to the center. You're going to inhale to drop the leg down. Exhale to pull it up. And every time you come up, you try to pull the leg up just a touch closer to you. Keep the hips on the floor. The lower back sinks gently onto the mat. My knees hyperextended, so I perfectly straighten my leg. Inhale and exhale. Also, be careful if you're hyperflexible, hypermobile. In that case, you want to keep that leg slightly bent, but most of us are the opposite. Most of us are tight. We don't have this hyperflexibility in our body, but if you do, keep your knees slightly bent. Good. Make sure that you can still breathe. So as you pull that leg towards you, don't force it. You've got one more. Last one. hold it. I've got my elbows on the floor and I'm gauging my elbows downwards. Good, and now to change over legs, we're going to bend the leg off the leg that you've strapped in, and then we lift the other leg up and we change over. Now, you're going to hyperextend that knee, so perfectly straighten it out. See how much I can do on this side. Pull the big toe towards you. Good. Hold it there. Good. And now you're going to rotate the thigh bone in your hip joint again. So just bring the toe and the knee out to the side. And then you hold it there. So it's a stretch. It's not a movement. It's just a different placement of the leg itself. And then over to the other side. Breathing. Let's do that again. Turn the leg out. Keep that knee nice and straight. Over to the other side. Back to the center. We're moving. We're dropping the leg. We're lifting the leg up. Every time you come up, you bring that leg a little bit closer to you. And don't compare your flexibility with mine. We all have a different flexibility. So you might be able to bring that leg closer to your chest. You might not. And whatever you do, as long as you feel the stretch, then that's great. So don't compare yourself with anybody. Couple more. Last one. That leg up. Excellent. And then release and place the band next to you on the floor. So if you've got osteoporosis or neck issues, you go into a pelvic tilt. If you're nice and healthy through the back, you're going to interlace your hands behind your head. And on the exhale, you're going to come up into an abdominal flexion. Inhale back down again. So when you come up, you pull the tummy in and you lift your pelvic floor. Your lower back gently sinks onto the floor. Good. So level 1 is a pelvic tilt. Level 2 is what we're doing now. Level 3, you're going to pull one knee towards your chest. So at the same time as you come up, one knee pulls in. Breathe out as you pull up. Good. If you're fairly new to Pilates or if you struggle a little bit with core engagement, do these up to level 3 and then maybe just practice that rather than pushing further ahead. If you can do more, we're now going to come up and we're going to pull our shoulder to the opposite knee. So there's now a flexion in our torso. Keep the elbows wide, and that's your level 4. And then for a level 5, that's an intermediate Pilates exercise. It's called the crisscross. Have a quick break. So if you want to go one level up with me. If not, go back to what you've just done. So level 4, bring the knees in, bring the head up. Then you're going to extend one leg and you're going to rotate the shoulder towards that knee and then swap and swap. Really pull that tummy in. Find a nice stable torso with that rotation. Make sure you support your head. Pull the shoulder to the knee, not the elbow to the knee. You've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. 1. Head on the floor, knees to your chest. And hopefully you felt that in your tummy muscles. Now we're going to do a full body stretch. So stretch everything out as long as you can make it. Maybe there is a yawn in you, maybe there isn't. Perfect. And then you're going to roll onto your side and come on up into a seated position. You're going to grab your block. If you're very flexible, you won't need a block. But if you're anything like me, you will need to sit on that block. And it will make it a lot more comfortable. So you can sit on a pillow, anything that gives you a little bit of height. And then lengthen your legs forward and flex your toes. And sit as tall as you can. So widen those legs as much as possible. That's it. Flex your toes. And then we're just going to simply stretch. So you're going to lean forward as far as you can with a straight back. And breathe, please. Flex your toes. So I can feel this stretch on the inside of my thighs all the way into my groin. The more I flex my toes, the more I can feel it in my calves as well. Good, and then gently come out of here. And then lean towards one leg and just feel that stretch. And see if you can reach towards the toe with the opposite hand. Just gently stretch into that. And then come back up and do the other side. So it's the opposite hand. And just gently reach for the opposite leg. Keep the same amount of weight on your bum cheeks if you can. Okay, now we are ready for an exercise that is called the saw. I really would love you to sit as upright as you can. Bring the arms out to the side and then find your rotation. So if you've got osteoporosis, any spinal issues, I highly recommend you stay with this. This is your level 1. Make sure you keep breathing. So we're practicing rotating the spine. But if you're nice and healthy, what I would like you to do is I'd like you to reach for your opposite little toe with your little finger. I would like you to look underneath the armpit and back to the center. So if you're reaching over to the right, you're looking underneath the right armpit. If you're reaching over to the left, you're reaching or you're looking underneath the left armpit. Keep going. I have to do these very, very small because of my knee. Back to the center, nice and tall. Look over to the other side. Look underneath the armpit and back to the center. Good. And come up into an upright position every time. So what I see at the moment, you're going in and then you're just swinging over. You need to sit up in between repetitions. So take it down. Sit up as tall as you can. And then over to the other side. So it's that sitting up in between and sit tall. That's it. Go again. Reach. Sit as tall as you can. One more time. Reach. And then sit as tall as you can. And relax. Good. It's not the easiest exercise. I am aware of that. Good. Bring your legs together. We're going to do one more exercise before I let you go. So we're going to come off the block. You're going to lie on your chest. So lie flat on your tummy. Arms are parallel to the mat. Shoulders are pulling back and down. Turn your heels inwards and draw that belly button as far away from the mat as you can. Push the hands into the floor. And then on the exhale, you lift your upper body away from the mat, pulling those shoulders back and down. And then bring it back down again. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale to lift. Inhale back down again. So you want to feel a really strong connection into your belly button. You want to find a stretch in the front of your tummy as you go up and down. And just gently slide those shoulders down your back. I don't want you to feel a burn. What I want you to feel here is movement and a stretch. I want you to feel the engagement into your shoulders. I want you to feel how you're pulling the tummy towards your spine to protect your back. So you might not be able to come up as far as I'm coming up, and that's absolutely fine. So you can even keep your elbows on the floor and just lift the back of your head up. And that is great. If you can do that, just moving that head away and finding that mobility, just lifting that breastbone up just a little bit, that will still give you a whole array of benefits. So you will still have moved the spine, but make sure that you do not feel any increased pressure into your lower back. You've got one more. Breathe out, clench the bum cheek, and then take it down. And then give your bum a little shake, and come back up into seated. Lengthen the leg, cross one leg over the other one. Come on, chop, chop. And then pull that knee over the midline as you sit nice and tall. So make sure you grab it. You grab the leg with the opposite arm. So if your right leg is crossed, it's your left arm that hugs the leg. You should feel a stretch in your bum cheek. So pull that leg over the midline Look over the shoulder. Release. Let's go over to the other side. Lengthen the leg. Cross. Pull the elbow and the knee together towards the opposite shoulder and look away. So you look over your shoulder, away from that stretchy leg. That's it. Perfect. 4 more. 3, 2, and release. All right. That is all done for today. Well done, everybody. Any feedback? Do let me know, either when you see me at the club or you can email me at any time. Have a good one. There is one more class next week and then I'll go on Christmas holiday.